Hey guys! For my very first tutorial, I decided to do a Bengal tiger, mostly because I know they're really hard to recreate with face and body paint because of the proportions and everything, so this is my interpretation of a Bengal tiger. First off, if you have any, put in contact lenses that you think will match the tiger look. Then straight away I start off with a neon orange water-based paint. This will be for the base of my tiger, and all the detail of the tiger will go over the top of this, so it doesn't really matter if this part is on point. I do this everywhere except for around my mouth, because later I'll be blending other colours in to make it look more like the ombre fur of the Bengal tiger. Then I use a dark orange to go over my nose and blend it out on my forehead. Later this will help give the illusion that my nose is actually flat like a Bengal tiger. Then with a white water-based paint, I then create a bit more of an ombre look only on one side. I just use a tissue to blend out most of the base coat. And with the same white water-based paint, I paint above my eyes and on the forehead on both sides. For an animal like a tiger, I really suggest a reference photo. It's really helpful to get the detail and the base coat looking like an actual tiger. With the same white paint, I paint around my mouth. This is going to help it later pop out and make it look like the mouth is actually 3D. I also blend this out as well because it is the base coat. I went over the white again on the top of my head just so it was a bit more brighter, and later when I put the detail on top it can stand out a bit more. Then starting with the detail, I go with the nose straight away. Using the reference photo, then you can get the shape of the nose. For most of these small detail parts I use a very thin brush, and the mouth is better seen than explained. Then with a small angled brush I go out and around to make it look like it's popping out. By now it should kind of look like a fox. Then I use a grey water-based paint to paint around my face, making it look like it's fur. I paint inside the mouth again to make it look more like it's popping out, and on the chin. I also noticed in the reference photo the tiger has a bit more of an orange nose and a line through the middle. I then shade down each side of my nose. This then gives the illusion that my nose is flat like a Bengal tiger. Then from each corner of my eye I blend a black water-based colour out. From now on in I look at the reference photo a lot to see where the white detailing goes. With this you can be really creative. You can either invent your own patterns on the tiger or look at your own reference photo. The white detailing I do is better seen than explained. The same thing goes with the black paint. Most of the time the black paint will go in between most of the white designs, so that's kind of easy to understand. It'd probably be easiest for you to understand if I'm just quiet and you copy. Most of the black detail is quite thick, so I'm using a medium size brush for this. It doesn't really matter what size brush, I'm not really particular on brushes. I get most of mine from a $2 shop. This step is optional. I chose to put in tiny little fangs. I thought it made it cute. You don't have to do this. After this I go back in with the white paint and do the really fine details of the hair with a really small brush. It's important that you get a small brush, otherwise the pieces might look too chunky. But you do this on most of the white parts around the tiger. You don't have to. I did it. I think it looked a lot more realistic once I put in the hair. I did this as kind of an extra step. I went underneath with the black and over again with the white details just because I thought it didn't look quite like the edge of the face was really there, so I just went over it again, but you don't have to if you think yours looks fine. Now I think this part is really important. It helps shape the whole tiger face. I painted both of the sides that were kind of empty with white. It gave it a lot more shape straight away, and I noticed it looked a lot more like a tiger very quickly. So I continue with the white water-based paint down on my neck, around my collarbone is where I stop. If you're thinking of just doing the tiger face paint, then don't bother about doing the rest of the neck. It's just kind of finishing off the look. I then grabbed one of my roughest brushes and just went along with black paint, just kind of scratched it there without any water, and then did it again underneath my collarbone. It kind of made it look a bit more like it was fur, and I thought it looked like streaks in the fur, so I thought it looked kind of cool. Then with the same fluoro orange and the dark orange water-based paint I used at the very start, I start from the middle of the chest and blend those two colours out to my collarbones as well. It looks best if you blend it into your natural skin colour. Now if you're really going to commit to this look, you can paint your hair white and continue on some of the black details up a little bit into your hair, not too much into your hair. Very last thing I did with a very small detail brush and the white paint again was finish with the fur. I really like the fur look on the chest, and I thought that it really completed the whole look in the end. But basically that's the whole Bengal tiger look. I hope it really helped some of you out, and I hope that you enjoyed my very first tutorial. It means so much to me if you've subscribed, liked or commented on this video, but I really hope you enjoyed it and have a really good rest of the day.